Oh my gosh.
We're here. We're
Look who
here.
it
We're here.
is.
We're here. We're
Oh,
here.
we're
We're
here.
here.
Oh no. Our
18
YouTube label
people
is
are
wrong.
watching us.
Why
What?
why is our YouTube title not updated?
I don't know. Look, Terry, because of your green screen, you're like actually
I know, dude. I told
in
you.
the
My green
Simpsons.
screen's great, man. I am Simpsons
Holy
now. Hey,
moly.
I'm a streamer now. I'm a professional streamer now, everybody, if you guys didn't know.
Uh,
Incredible.
you and me both. I am a professional streamer in that my job is to look to crawl around in streams and see what's on the bottom of them.
Devin's a professional streamer in that he goes and dances with streamers on sticks in the street to
Yes.
inspire people. That's why he's
Yeah.
got the mustache.
Everybody, welcome back to Homerphillia, the world's preeminent.
Oh my
Simpsons-
gosh,
Welcome home.
we got
Homerphillia.
40 something people watching right now, you guys.
Awesome.
Oh
So,
jeez.
Let's hang, baby.
Let's
and hey,
hang.
so if you are uninitiated with what we do, we are a couple of best friends that can't get enough of each other.
Just
Hell
uh,
yeah.
We're from Planet Ant Theater in Hamtramck, Michigan. We're watching The Simpsons from episode 1 all the way till the end whenever they stop. We're currently on season 3, episode 5, Like Father, Like Clown.
Yeah, buddy.
And we do this every Sunday at 7 p.m.
Also, everybody, we have a new streaming setup. It's so the boys at the top of your screen, the Devin and the Andy, they're at their respective households. I'm over here at Stream HQ with all the tech stuff that's all new. We ran into a couple issues. We took a couple weeks off. We're coming back fully loaded with a brand new setup. But if there's anything that seems like it shouldn't be, like you hear an echo or you there's a video issue or something like that, anything like that, please let us know. I have the chat up right in front of me, and I would love to know if there's anything weird about it. So let me know.
I
Let,
would
let
love
us
to
know.
know which Matrix movie you got those glasses from.
Okay, so it's the unreleased one. It's only the real Matrix fans will know about this. So if you
I
go
was gonna say,
Right.
I was gonna say it was from the skateboard video in the Animatrix.
Okay, so you guys, hear me out. So those of you who don't know, in our Homerphillia absence, we were on hiatus. In that time, I've become a video game streamer. And
Bergman says that the Michigan quarantine chugs brought him here to the
really?
stream.
Well,
So,
him and
always
what
happy
else?
to have
You
a new
guys,
fan.
we have 52
Thank you.
people watching right now. What is going on? Why do you guys
Awesome.
care about us right now? But you guys, I became a video game streamer in our time off. So one thing about video game streaming, when you play video games for like 4 to 6 hours a day, you need these computer glasses or you get real bad headaches.
So that people might think you're in Lincoln Park.
So people think you're smarter than you are.
You look like Chester Bennington.
That's what I've been told by all of the folks on the internet. Chester Bennington.
Is it true?
No, I have not. Somebody, it's real funny. One thing I learned about streaming is people have lots of opinions.
Andy, now you also made a career change during the time we've been away, correct?
Yeah, I've been digging.
Digging,
Wow.
just digging
Yeah,
in general.
Yeah,
You're
my
part
new
of a holes situation, correct? The movie
Yeah.
holes.
yeah. So, for me, I'm currently an independent contractor, and that I'm digging these holes, hoping that somebody will have a need for them at some point.
I noticed
so-
you were handing out 1099s a lot recently.
Yeah, because I dig like an 8 or 9 foot hole in my neighbor's backyard. I'm like, you could fill this with all of your loose cereal or whatever. Like there's so many uses for this hole. So I give them my 1099 with all my information on there if they want to pay me. So
Well,
far,
because
no cash.
what is a hole other than just a big bowl that you can't move anywhere? And plus
Also,
got
time
dirt
out.
on
Do
it?
you
Thank
operate
you.
on an if you want to pay me type of agreement?
Yeah, so I do the work and then ask if they have any use for it. So I did.
How much money have you made? Is this a get
None.
rich quick situation?
Mostly no money, but a lot of people have called the cops on me for digging in their yard. So my pitch is like,
Yeah.
this thing could be an underground garage. Is your garage full of shit? Start putting that stuff in this big hole in your backyard.
Yeah, it has been kind of a just bury all your garbage situation.
Hey, Andy.
Yeah, but what?
Did you bury everything in your garage?
Yes.
Is this how you got the idea? You buried everything in your garage?
I've buried all of it.
You know the
yeah.
dirt's never going to come out of those white leather sofas.
I know. Well, my hope was that if I buried those white leather sofas, that a Dustin tree would grow in my backyard. So far, no dice.
Hey Von Wink, thanks for hanging out. Your first comment? You're poking fun at us already? Is that what that is? We're one of those ads that sometimes runs at the bottom of the screen during episodes. I don't understand the context, but we're glad to have you here. Hey, everybody in the chat right now. Hey, remember to follow Homerphillia, and also follow Planet Net. And also maybe hit that thumbs up reaction button or whatever the hell your platform you're on, because we're gonna be delivering quality content like this every Sunday. But there's somebody doing stuff every night of the week. Devin, everybody's thinking it. Mustache.
Yeah.
Give us context.
I've been doing a lot of research. I've been spending a lot of time in the labs with the scientists, and new research has come out that if you have a mustache, it will filter out any of the disease germs, and it's just a catcher for all that. So as long as you are keeping your mustache clean, you can use it as a filter, so you can breathe in whatever air you want. You're not going to get COVID.
Now, I've got an interesting question. When you are working in the lab, approximately what time of day would that occur? If you're working...
Is it late at night? Just tell me if it's late at night.
Is it late one night?
Yep.
And then when you're working in the lab late one night, is that maybe that you hear an awful fright?
Yeah, and do your eyes maybe see some kind of sight? Like what? What are you typing? Why is your keyboard so loud?
Yeah. What? And if your eyes did behold anything while you're working in that lab late at night, how would you describe that sight? Might you say it's eerie?
Well,
and you're doing all this from memory. This is unrelated to any of the typing noises we just heard.
Yeah.
I don't get is this a reference to something?
No, it's not a reference.
Something about you.
I mean, yeah. I sometimes when I'm at the lab late at night, I may happen to behold an eerie sight, and
what kind of TV shows do you watch in the lab late at night? I know you like the older shows. Do you happen to be watching MASH?
No, I'm watching After MASH.
Okay, cool.
After MASH. So, real quick, very serious question.
Yep.
Gun to your head, what party are you choosing? A Monster Mash or a Graveyard Smash?
For me, gonna have to be a Graveyard Smash, boys.
Okay. Now I understand why all those tombstones got broken up by your house last week. You're out there smashing up people's tombstones.
Yeah, I do have a big sledgehammer, and I will take it to the tombstones of mine enemies.
Damn.
Boris Pickett and the Crypt Kickers. What a good name for a band.
Yeah, that's a solid name for a band. I like the mustache.
You guys think we should spend time with the rest of the songs on that album? Because there's also The Fiendage Idol, Blood Bank Blues.
Yeah, you just need one.
You
just need one. It goes to show you just need one to be a legend. That's it.
So, wait, did you say Blood Bank Blues?
Yeah.
I'm into that.
I don't think we're allowed to play it. We'll get banned. We'll get banned from the internet.
I know.
Blood Bank, we can't play it over the
Can
stream,
you
though.
can you pull up the lyrics?
Gary Pickett will come kill us or whatever.
Can you pull up the lyrics and see if there's anything quality in there?
Yeah, why don't I go ahead and just Blood Bank Blues. Now, for me, that is when you're bummed out because you ain't got no money, so you go to the blood bank to feel something.
Right. So we're getting votes on the chat. It seems like people are more Monster Mash than Graveyard Smash, if you're asking me.
Yeah, honestly, gun to my head, I'm going Monster Mash 2. Now, I know what you're thinking.
Who's holding the gun to your
Wait.
head, and why would they make you answer that question?
Who's holding the gun
That
to
is
my
what
head?
we're all
Right?
wondering.
And the answer is clearly Bobby Pickett. He's been threatening me with his gun for a long time. But yeah, graveyard, scary, spooky, scary. Also monsters, also scared of them. And
Monsters are scared of
also,
graveyards?
I'm scared of them, but there's no threat to my personal safety at a graveyard when the monsters could chew me up and attack me and beat me up.
Got a couple other Bobby Pickett songs here. Monsters Holiday, Monster Swim, Monster Rap, Monster Mash Party, Graduation Day, Simon the Sensible Surfer.
What year was Monster Mash?
I want to say 62.
60s. Look, in 2005, Pickett protested an action by the United States government's path towards global warming by releasing the Climate Mash, a new version of his hit single. He did a global warming protest parody of his novelty song. That is phenomenal to me.
It's kind of like how New Order puts out a different remix of Blue Monday every 10 years.
Yeah.
I think we should update the Monster Mash at least once a year.
The Climate Mash. Ooh, could you imagine the COVID Mash?
COVID Mash? Oh my God.
Good. Now I'm laughing.
It would be a coronavirus smash.
It would be a Corona smash.
Can you imagine how demoralizing it would be?
He
if
wore
you're
a
like,
mask. He wore
No,
a Corona
he wore a-
mask.
He wore a COVID mask. I was in.
Yeah, the September 11th Mash was an extremely poorly received remix to that
I
song.
heard a
Not many
crash.
people think- It was
I'm sorry.
It was very poorly received. He came out with it just the day after the tragedy, which I thought was very timely of him. But
It's almost like he had it ready to go.
yeah, it's almost like he had all of it recorded beforehand.
Yeah, and like produced and cut and ready to go right off the bat.
Huh. That's pretty weird, huh? Boris Pickett, huh?
And now that I'm looking at this, his Corona Mash parody came out January 1. So
Oh, man.
what's that about?
Huh. Huh.
Maybe this goes all the way to the top.
The top.
Boris Pickett is Q.
What if he's Q?
QAnon Boris Pickett.
What if he's deep state?
Why don't we let the hacker on the stream tell us? Darren, do you have any information?
Can you guys see the comments? 9/11 conspiracy, graduation day. It's pretty good. What up from Michigan? Cool little podcast, Monster Mash. Those don't make any sense to me. Those comments, so they must be a code.
Oh yeah, that's probably him.
We're in Michigan too, James. James says, "Hey, from Michigan." So we're also in Michigan. I'm sorry, everybody.
We work at a theater in Hamtramck called Planet Ant, and maybe when this is all over, you could come see us do a live Homerphillia.
Maybe.
Maybe.
That would be good. I would be excited if we got new people, just exclusively Homerphillia fans. Hey, we're gonna have our Homerphillia shirts soon.
Oh my God!
Yeah, we're back. We're the print studio, the print shop's taking orders again. So we're gonna have some
print shops back up.
So shout out to Sean Golden on the design of our shirts that are gonna come out. It's a very caveman looking Lisa. So we'll see.
It is phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
He drew Lisa, but if she was like a dock worker from the 1970s, I love it. He's got hairy arms and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to wear that everywhere.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm eating loud food again, you guys. I'm sorry if I seem distracted.
No.
What do you think the loudest food is? For me, Pop Rocks.
Pop Rocks?
Oh, for me, it's trying to eat a lobster without any utensils to break it open.
Plus, because the noise is all from you yelling because you keep getting your nose pinched.
All right, question. Where's the line? Where's the line? Is food defined as things intended to be edible, or is food defined as things that you eat? Because
Are you eating those? Are you eating those snappers again?
I'm just saying, if I was eating firecrackers, are they food in that moment? Because I'm eating them, or do they have to be intended?
Darren's had a sordid past with eating explosives, mostly fireworks.
Well, it started with the cherry bomb, which I'm going to tell you that's flawed marketing right there. Because don't name something a cherry if it's not going to be sweet and edible. Right.
Yeah.
Loudest food. Chat says.
I was furious at that Warrant song because I couldn't eat that cherry pie. It's just a song about it.
Our chat thinks apples are loud. How do you order merch? You're gonna order it on planetant.com eventually, but you can't right now. So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Buddy. When it's released, follow the page. When it's released, we will be really loud about it.
Yeah, we'll be loud about it. We love it. We are just a sliver into this limited run podcast we're doing. We're on season 3, episode 5 of The Simpsons. We plan and fully intend to go all the way till the end.
Which now is what, 680 or something?
If you're a fan of what we're doing right now, just imagine listening to it for the next 17 years.
Yeah. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, God forbid something ever happened to any one of us, but we have to have some kind of contingency plan if in the next 17 years, something were to go down. So do you guys have alternates or substitutes you would want to tag in the event that you ever got mixed up in like a coma situation or something like that?
Yeah, if I go down, I want you guys to reach out to Lisa Lampanelli.
Wait, am I in a coma? If I'm in a coma, I want to still be videoed in every episode, and I want to be green screened in the corner. I want like kind of a Weekend at Bernie's situation. You can let Bergmans control me.
Yeah. Okay.
Whoever actually wins our top fan competition when we decide that, they can control me in a Weekend at Bernie's situation.
Okay,
I was going to say, because if no one's doing anything, we could just put a still picture of you in the coma because...
No, I don't want a still picture. There has to be somebody there holding today's newspaper every
the Truman Show have been a boring show if he ended up in a coma halfway through it.
Yeah, that would have been somebody would have lost their money
every week just to watch him sitting there.
If he had like a horrible peanut allergy and it died of a violent reaction when he was 6 years old, that's how that show ended.
Yeah, my least favorite reality shows are the ones where children die of allergic reactions.
Did you ever watch Kid Nation? Is that a thing that popped? It was it was only one season because they got sued so much. But they took like 30 children, like elementary age children, and put them in an old Western ghost town and told them to build a city. And they had to elect a mayor and decide who was gonna do what jobs. And they were all like 8 years old. And they got sued for like children's worker rights abuse and shit. But they just like made these kids try to build a city.
Somebody read Lord of the Flies.
I said I would stop buying things as a joke on the air.
Somebody read Lord of the Flies and got really excited.
Yeah, it didn't quite get Lord of the Flies crazy, but there's a classic Lord of the Flies Simpsons episode we'll get to eventually.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's exciting.
Also, speaking of allergies, yesterday I was talking and thinking about it, Andy, and I feel like you should go to a doctor and really figure out if you're actually allergic to hot dogs or not, because I feel like it's impossible if you're allergic to hot dogs.
I haven't had a hot dog since I was like 3 or 4 or 5 something, because I ate one and almost died. I don't know what in it I'm allergic to.
You're allergic to nuts, dude. You're allergic to nuts. You know it had to be a nut thing, right?
Oh, do you think somebody put some pecan dust on my hot dog?
I don't know. Did you eat it at a at a carnival near like, I don't know, caramel apples or some shit?
I was eating this hot dog at my mortal enemy's house.
Your 3-year-old child mortal enemy? You had a mortal enemy as a 3-year-old.
Yeah,
Right.
his Mr. Planter, the Nut Man. And he always was furious that I couldn't buy his products because I couldn't have them because I'm allergic.
So you didn't have anything to do with his recent passing.
Oh, are you talking about how he was allergic to holes in his yard and he fell in one and it all died? No, I didn't have anything to do with that.
It turns out many Americans are allergic to holes in their yard because they fall in it and they die.
Yeah, so there's degrees to being allergic to a hole in your yard. Sometimes it's fall in and die. Sometimes it's see it and get very irritated at the guy that did it.
Yeah, that's the allergy.
That's a reaction.
My doctor told me I'm allergic to poison. If I have it, I will die.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a huge poison allergy.
Mm-hmm.
If I even drink a little bit of poison, I'm done. I'm dead.
And sometimes it's a nice treat in small doses, but I too seem to be allergic to it because I get very ill.
You have talked about microdosing poison a lot, and you have just been sick all the time.
Yeah. You know those stories of like crazy moms getting their kids sick a little bit at a time?
Yeah.
I've been kind of accidentally doing that to myself.
So you have like a Munchausen by proxy, but it's like a reverse.
It's more like I found a jug with a skull and crossbones in my mudroom, and it's really tasty, even though it makes me really sick.
Right. Sometimes you get bottle has 3 big X's on it, and the X's mean you're supposed to drink a little bit of it, but then get too sick.
Yeah. Exactly.
Darren, you got any allergies?
Allergies?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any allergies per se. I don't like loud noises though. I don't know. Does that count as an allergy?
You think you might have an allergy to that? Sure.
You're allergic to loud noises.
Maybe.
And yet, in unquarantined times, you run a music venue.
Right. Which it's ironic because I don't like loud noises or big groups of people.
Yeah, and you run a big, huge venue.
Right. Well, I mean,
I am allergic to pneumonia. If I get even a little bit of pneumonia, I will get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Same thing with salmonella. If I am very allergic to it because if I get it, I get food poisoning.
Victor says, "Oh, not the Dr. Bill again." Victor with the callback.
Thanks a lot, Victor. You brought back one of my favorite bits.
The Dr.
Do you guys
Bill.
think if Victor went back and listened to our normal podcast episodes before we started this, that he would enjoy them?
I think like episodes like well, there are some that I really think are like independently without bias, just like really good podcasts. Like the one with PJ, I really, really, really liked a lot. I mean, I think most of them have some comedy gold built in there. It's
the PJ one was fun. It was just it got a little burdensome for us to have to carry him comedically through that episode.
It's not very often that we get on stage, get on the airwaves with such untrained comedians.
Yeah.
You know, no, but I think I think that it's such a different dynamic what we're doing right now versus what the actual podcast was intended to be. Because anybody who doesn't know, we generally are not live. We're generally in the same room together with a third or a fourth person, a guest, often a very funny, very weathered comedian, experienced comedian of some type. And this is such a different dynamic, just doing the three of us via the Skypes and watching, we don't even watch the episodes together anymore, you know? So like, and anybody who knows, like a big comedy is a lot more funny in a room with a couple of your best friends than it is in a room with 3 cats or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys got going on.
I am honestly, that's one of the most surprising things I've learned during the coronavirus pandemic is that it's so much harder to do comedy virtually.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't have seen that coming.
Well, and I mean, because it's very like the basic to get into because I've been, like you guys know, I've been streaming every night on these video games and stuff like that. But one of the things that I really find is where it gets really fun and funny is when you do have a good back and forth going with your chat. You start to connect, you start to like bridge into like relatable topics, and like it's obvious that that's what's funny when you're connecting with people, and then you kind of like you subvert expectation in some way. But it is so much harder to do the work to get to that point where you can be funny digitally.
I'll
Like-
tell you what has not translated very well to the Skype and virtual domain is my mixed martial arts sparring group that I'm in, because the sparring we've been doing over video it's a whole different dynamic, because maybe I am going to throw a punch or whatever and I have to wait to see how they react to it. It's very difficult.
Devin got Parappa the Rappa on another note.
Did you?
That's what his sparring class is, just kick punch. It's all in the mind.
Kick, chop.
Yeah.
It's all in the
Kick,
mind.
kick, chop.
So
Punch, punch, kick.
don't believe him when he says he's doing real mixed martial arts. He's just pressing square and circle.
Oh, you think rappers can't fight?
Yeah, Def Jam
disagree,
Underground, buddy.
Def Jam, fight for New York.
Now I challenge either of you to name even one other scene from that video game than the onion guy in the karate dungeon.
Well, there's scene number 1, kick. There's scene number 2, punch, and scene number 3, it's all in the mind. And that takes you into the kind of Inception situation where it is all in the mind, and then you got to run it back, and then you punch and kick again.
I a little bit remember him being in a car.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember.
So everybody I know that had a PlayStation remembers Parappa the Rapper. Nobody remembers anything past the first game, the first dojo part where you're kicking and punching. I did recently buy
If you Google Parappa the Rapper on images, the first like 10 images are him and the onion guy.
Yeah.
No, I don't think anybody ever made it any further in the game.
What else happens in that game?
What
else happens in that game?
Every scene is the same. You're with somebody else, and you're rapping, and the beat is you have to hit buttons. So it's like triangle, triangle, circle, square, square, X.
That's what I said. Kick, punch,
DDR,
all
but
in the
there's
mind.
no fun part.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. I love games with no fun
Parappa the
part.
Rappa TV series. Interesting, boys.
Oh, Devin's
Came out in 2001.
Devin's gonna
It's
waste
an
more
anime.
money on the internet today.
I'm not buying any more shit live on the air. I said I'm not gonna do it.
All right. So
Do I want to get the Parappa the Rappa anime series real bad?
What year? What year is it?
Huh?
What year is it?
2001.
Okay,
Space
so
Odyssey. The series focuses on Parappa, a dog who enjoys music and dancing and often spends time with his friends PJ Barry, Katie Cat, and the girl of his dreams, Sunny Funny.
Sunny Funny.
Wow.
This is basically Poochie.
Yeah. I'm a rapping dog, and I'm here to say I
Parappa
like
the
rap
Rapper's
a lot in a major way.
What'd you guys think episode today?
That's good.
Jackie Mason is a great voice actor as Krusty's dad.
Yeah, I was kind of okay. So I was starting this episode real late today, about really 5 minutes before the latest point in time I could start the episode and still be on the show today. But I went into it without fear. Well, Andy had sent something like good ep, not necessarily a classic, or I don't know. He said something, and it kind of brought my expectations.
Maybe you're saying Andy should have saved it for the pod.
I agree. Well, what he did was he lowered my expectations, and then I was pleasantly surprised, which I'm actually pretty happy. I'm pretty happy about that because I did like this episode, and normally Andy's pretty emphatically happy with most episodes because he loves The Simpsons so much, especially because Milhouse is in this one too. So I'm surprised.
Ooh, there's some good Millhouse in this.
There was some good Milhouse in this.
He has 15 seconds of screen time, and he steals the entire episode.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, dude. I loved the Krusty outro. I love the character Corporal Punishment.
Oh yeah,
love it so much.
And they kind of do like a little hug end of SNL moment.
Yeah.
Everyone's on stage.
Totally loved it. Also, it's weird, like, to think. One of the things that I keep remembering, like, because you guys, anybody who's new watching us, I have not seen any of these. These guys have seen every episode of The Simpsons over and over again, I believe. I have literally seen like maybe 4 or 5 across the whole series, and then up to the watch right now. So through season 3, episode 5 or 6, depending on how you look at it. But what's weird is watching these shows and remembering the obvious, which is they don't know what they are. This is season 3 of a show. They're fighting, they're a scrappy. I mean, they're a big show at this point in time. Like they're like huge. But I'm just saying they don't know that they're going to be going on for 30 some odd seasons or whatever. But it's just weird to me because like Sideshow Bob is not really a thing yet. We've seen him once, but he's, like whenever there's Krusty, it's weird to me that there's not a Sideshow Bob. And then I realized like Sideshow Bob had 1 episode so far, and that's it. We don't really.
The backstory of we never really see him as Krusty's sidekick,
right? Except for the very beginning.
His first episode is his first crime. So Sideshow Mel is Krusty's sidekick for the entirety of the actual series.
Yeah, which is it's interesting because I don't know any of that. I know loosely. I know like the pop culture references. I know the Eat My Shorts. I know the Sideshow Bob. I know the Krusty. I know the weird little dream bunny looking things. I don't know what they are, but I know them by look. But yeah, it's interesting. Devin, what are you sending Parappa the Rapper egg shirts to the chat for?
What?
No,
don't mind if I do.
Okay.
I know we're live online and I'm not supposed to be buying stuff, but I did Google Parappa the Rapper t-shirts.
All right. I'm gonna see if I can. Can I pull up an image of the image that you sent? I wonder. You guys,
can you go ahead and share that if you have the technology to do that?
I might have the technology to do that, you guys. Let's see. We're getting better.
You
at this.
look like an IT guy in like Law and Order based on your vibe aesthetically right now.
Listen.
Yeah.
I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to do my job. That's a character choice I just made. I'm the no bullshit fun guy.
I like it.
No, the character choice is like Law and Order guys, like a cop being like, can you get on the website and get the information? And you would be like, can I get the information?
Can I get the information?
Yeah, and then you type really fast.
And then I talk
like cocky hacker.
Yeah. I like it.
That's my typing. Give me a second. Give me a second, everybody. But I did like this episode. I really did. I think that like anything, I always get a little so it's essentially, you Krusty's dodging, hanging out with Bart, who saved him from prison. And then I like the bits with the secretary, the assistant, whatever. I did like
Miss
that.
Penny Candy.
I like that whole beginning.
Penny Candy's a great name.
Marge calls and says, Mrs. Penny Candy, and she goes, "It's Miss, I assure you."
Miss Penny Candy, I can assure you.
I can assure you of that.
I like that when Marge asked Mrs. Penny Candy why Krusty is so insensitive and it's so hard to get him to care about stuff. She goes, "I've wasted my womanhood asking that same question."
Yeah.
So he's got this secretary that's just madly in love with him. I like that character.
I hate when my secretary's madly in love with me.
Yeah.
Don't
And
we
then she
all,
wastes
buddy?
her womanhood chasing after you.
Now, Andy, you mentioned that your secretary at your new business venture is madly in love with you. Your business venture of digging holes and then later asking people if you can have some money.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of started dating my talk to text feature on my phone.
Oh, right.
Who I call my secretary. It's new.
Oh, I did. I got the Parappa Rapper shirt on the stream, you guys. I'm sorry.
Let's see
I
it.
figured it out. So this is the shirt you just bought?
I didn't buy it. I'm just I want to buy it.
Well, now you have to.
Now you're kind of wearing it also for the rest of the stream.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's him as an egg.
There. Now you have.
I don't know who made this shirt, but
I zoomed in on it because I was looking at it on my big screen. It is not. It is a stock image of a gray shirt with a clearly 3D superimposed image sitting on top of it. It is not a picture of a real shirt that we're
You
looking
can
at.
buy this on TeePublic though.
I'm just
Oh.
I don't. I'm just saying. I can tell based on how big it is that it is clearly a pretend image right here. So let's see what comes. It'll probably be good.
Should I buy it? I kind of want to buy it. I'm not gonna.
Should you buy it? You're gonna buy it. I mean, why are we pretending like there's a question here? we know you.
Victor wants you guys to know that a Law and Order techie would be wearing a white lab coat, so your bit's wrong.
No, I am. I'm the
Darren, do
kind
you
of
have a
Law
white
and
lab
Order.
coat?
I do, but I don't. I wear it to work, but then I take it off and put my hoodie on because I'm the cool tech guy.
Kind of a Mr. Rogers situation.
Exactly.
Take off your outside shoes
and put on my
your
house
inside
shoes.
Put on your cardigan.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's exactly the kind of person I am, you guys.
Yeah.
That's just the kind of guy you are right now.
It's just the kind of guy I am in quarantine.
Oh my god. So when Krusty breaks Bart's heart a little bit by canceling their dinner date yet again, and Bart writes him a mean note on his personal stationery, and the header is "From the brain of Bart," which I really thought was great.
Yeah. I really did like the. I tend to like the flashback world building style things, which this episode is totally character world building a little bit. So Krusty shows up at dinner at the Simpsons. First of all, he starts doing clown tricks, and then they're like, "You don't have to be like that; just be yourself." And then Krusty kind of he cuts loose a little bit. They ask him to do grace. He starts speaking in Hebrew. Homer makes some comment about how he's speaking gibberish, and then Lisa is the one who acknowledges the culturally sensitive whatever about it all. And then we get into this backstory about Krusty's. What's the family name? I didn't write it down because I'm bad. Krustovsky.
Yeah.
And we get this.
We blew past at dinner. So Milhouse kind of invites himself over so he can meet Krusty at this dinner. And just this terrific Milhouse moment. Somebody asks if the guest at dinner wants to say grace, and Milhouse pipes up like it's supposed to be him instead of the celebrity that's in their house.
So Milhouse shows up in a suit saying, "Oh, I was just in the neighborhood."
I know.
After he's been begging Bart to let him meet Krusty.
It was great.
Yeah, but then we go on this romp through history about Krusty's rabbi father not wanting to do comedy. I really liked so they show how he's like a respected member of the community or whatever, and they're like, should I? They were asking him like existential questions, and then somebody says, "You think I should buy a Chrysler?" And then he goes, "Can you rephrase that as an existential question?" And the guy goes, "Would it be right to buy a Chrysler?" And that
Honestly,
was a good bit. That was a
feels
good bit.
like the Coen Brothers movie, A Serious Man.
Yeah. I love that.
I like that there is a Lower East Side of Springfield, and it looks like The Godfather 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have like a downtown Lower East Side.
When we eventually introduce the Springfield Mafia, I feel like they live in this part of town too.
Yes, absolutely. The New York section of Springfield.
Yeah, Little New York and Springfield. That's a great thing. Like that's what they can do that no other show can do, is just like invent more Springfield.
I love like when they need to go to a bad part of town and they're just like, "Oh, the bad part of Springfield."
Yeah, in that flashback, when his father rabbi figures out that he wants to be a clown, he's like giving him all this life lessons, like pie is for noshing, not for throwing, and seltzer is for drinking, not for spritzing. I thought that was fun.
All these like fun little Yiddishisms and like weird little turns of phrase in this episode.
Yeah,
just a delight, mostly from Krusty's dad. But I love it.
When he walks in on little Krusty spraying seltzer in the bathroom, and little Krusty's like, "No, Dad, get out!"
Like he's jacking off. I like there's one, I forget the turn of phrase exactly, but like It's a little bit later in the episode where Hiram's upset with Bart, and he's like, I told not to come here, instead of I told you not to come here. Just like those
Yeah.
little tiny turns of phrase just are a delight to me.
Yeah. Yeah. They, you can definitely tell that this episode was not made very recently.
Right.
Because how like stereotypical some of the Jewish stuff was.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's every time you get into one of those like stereotyping of a whole group of people on this show, it's a little cringy from time to time. But I think that I mean, I don't know that I'm the judge of what's okay or not, but it didn't seem like at all malicious or hateful. So that's good.
No.
That's good.
But Bart did dress up like an old rabbi for part of it.
Yep.
When he's having a schwitz with the
Yes.
other rabbis, what a delightful moment. All
I
these just
love that.
flabby old men. Oh my
He's trying
god.
to. So Lisa's searching the Torah for passages that will convince the rabbi to reconnect with his son Krusty. And each time that Bart runs them to him, he's doing like some like very stereotypical rabbi thing, like having a schwitz or performing a bris.
I
I
love it.
did love watching him just like sweat it out with a bunch of old dudes.
Yep.
When Rabbi Kirstovsky's at Krusty's show but doesn't know it yet, I feel he's like talking to someone and he says, "Yes, Krusty's very promising. He's voted most likely to hear God." Such a fun little joke.
Yeah, there were a lot of good like background gags this time too. Like, Krusty's walking through the town and he walks by like an adult theater and they're playing Crocodile Dun Me at the and the book Lisa's reading is the Big Book of the
Chosen People.
Yeah.
When Krusty's walking past a bunch of magazines and there's Ballpoint Pen Digest and Fabergé Egg Owner.
Fabergé Egg Owner. Yeah, there's a lot of
Modern
good...
Jewish Father.
Yeah, that one makes him cry. Modern Jewish Father.
Krusty talking about the Itchy and Scratchy cartoon, which was Anna Father and Son dynamic, and he's bawling. He's like, "Didn't Scratchy Jr. look happy playing with his dad until he got run over by a thresher?"
It's so good.
Lovely. Oh man.
Yeah. So you dug this one, Darren?
I mean, I thought it was a solid up. You know, it's not going to be in my top 10. I mean, it's not going to be maybe top 10-ish. It's not going to be my like top 5 by any stretch of the imagination. But it was. I mean, if I'm thinking of this app, I think it's a solid Simpsons app. I mean, I didn't like anything else. I think if we were in a group together, it would have been a lot more funny, just because laughter begets laughter. But I think there was some solid jokes. There was. You know, it was paced properly. I didn't feel like it was slow at any time. And you know me, I like the heartstrings moments. I like the world building, and I feel like this did for me. You know, things like the Lower East Side of Springfield, like that's not something I'm used. You know, you guys have seen so much Simpsons, like. That's a convention that's relatively new. Like the only thing similar to this would be that Thanksgiving episode a couple seasons back, where it was like the other side of the tracks was literally like the bad part of Springfield on the other side of the tracks, with hobos and bindle sticks following smoke smells of dinner or whatever. But
so from that perspective, this is kind of interesting because Springfield for me is Springfield.
It's built.
I can't ever narrow it back down to what you are seeing now, because I know so much about the world they will build over the next. Yeah.
I mean, right now, if you think about it, really all I know is pretty much the courtyard with the statue, the buildings surrounding it, the school, the plants. A few offshoot places, but really it's just that you know there's nothing thus far that has really strayed beyond that kind of just middle America town. You know, you got the bowling alley, you got the movie theater, you got the drugstore, you got the Quick Mart, you got the school. I mean, there's a couple like quirky things like the tire place, and I guess the factory is still another Middle America thing. There's just a factory where everybody works. So I mean, to go and take a very Godfather, very New York, Lower East Side thing and say, okay, now this is in Springfield because we want to use it there. I think that's a brilliant convention to introduce and to use. I mean, I guess we have seen them go to the city and Homer's Dancing Homer, but they didn't.
Right.
Instead, they brought this city here,
Right.
which I think is an important step for them because then they can realize they can do whatever the hell they want by kind of keeping
we've
this
also
formlessness.
talked about how, like, the scope of the stories they tell are also going to get bigger and bigger too, because so far through over into the third season, almost every single episode we've seen has centered around the core family.
Right
now, this is the second episode where they go beyond the family to tell stories. They had the Flanders episode. Now we've got a Krusty episode. So they're already,
dude.
This is when they're deciding to expand the show beyond.
One thing I'm really seeing about The Simpsons and why, I mean, say what you will about the new episodes. I mean, I haven't watched any of them, but obviously people have said they don't like where they've gone or whatever. But say what you will about The Simpsons. What works, I think, that I'm realizing, is because they are kind of making the mold here. They don't have to have these extravagant, gimmicky, ridiculous stories. Even though Krusty is a ridiculous character, this is a very, very relatable, like middle of the road, just want the approval of my parents story. And most of the stories have been some simple dilemma, which like allows them to not have to justify crazy stuff. Like a lot of the cartoons now, they're starting off with this, we need to be different and ridiculous. And, we have aliens and we have all this stuff. And while we have seen stuff like that in The Simpsons, like it's not, it amazes me how they're still very grounded. The show is still very grounded. And I think that makes these characters that can stay grounded, and can exist through 30 years because they're not, I'm a person who's embodied by a demon or, like I'm not the alien who's lives on the couch or something like that. They didn't have to do that to have a thing. They just have pretty good characters that maybe have a couple gimmicks here and there, but they're all grounded characters, which I'm going to say I'm blown away and pleasantly surprised at this point in the series. I did not ever think I would be somebody who likes The Simpsons. I don't know why. I just...
Oh, I know why. It's because they have ruined their own reputation.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably it, really.
Yeah.
I mean, and when you don't get it, like, it's easy to think, okay, this show's about this really dumb Homer guy, and that's from an outside perspective. You don't realize that, like, the dumb guy is what makes it relatable to dumb guys. And yeah, sure, it's memorable. He does memorable stuff. But, like, again, like, the quality of the show is in the good writing, the solid jokes, the really clever, like, background thing, like the signs and wordplay, unparalleled. And there's really good emotional stories in here.
And then the galaxy brain take that you loop back around to much later is that you don't care about the good smart stuff anymore. You just want to see Homer eat Big Dirty Sandwich.
But that's okay. I think that's like, I mean, like
I can't wait for you to see him eat that Big Dirty Sandwich. Wait.
I mean, I think that those are those moments in comedy that I really do love. You go into this looking to laugh. All of a sudden, these two characters that you've grown to like have this relatable connection, and then in come the Big Dirty Smelly Sandwich comic relief, and it's just wash, rinse, and repeat.
Go into this show looking to laugh, but while you're there, you might do a little loving and learning along the way.
Yeah, and then you should end with a big solid laugh and get back. That's the glass house kind of. You're back to square one every time, and it is comforting knowing that you're starting at one and you're back to one always.
Devin,
yeah,
Devin, do you predict right now that an episode of The Simpsons will at some point make Darren cry?
Yes.
What
Yeah.
happened? Can you call it? Can you
Yeah.
try and call it here and now?
Which one or
Yeah, which
do
one?
it
No,
for
let's
her.
say which season. Let's say what season, and then I will. Whoever's wrong has to make the other two of us steak one night.
okay.
So either way, I get a steak here.
I'm calling it, and Maggie makes 3. That's what I'm
Yes.
calling.
That is the one. That's the one.
Let's
for
not,
sure.
but we
I'll
don't
go-
want to explicate any
Yeah,
part
don't
of it
expli-
because
yeah, don't.
that'll ruin it.
Maggie makes 3. I will say just so I have my own. I'll say the one with Homer's mom.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
Homer watches the stars.
All right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
those are the two. Those are the two we're pulling.
Cool. Write it down,
Yeah.
Victor. Write it down.
Lisa's substitute made me tear up.
See,
Yeah.
I really feel like I didn't the episodes I've watched by myself. I have I don't know. I've enjoyed all the episodes a lot more that I've watched with you guys or with our guest. I feel like I'm more present. Being at home, I use the TV as a background source of whatever so often that it's easier for me
Bart
to.
the Mother. 5 episodes from now.
Really?
Bart,
Bart
the
the
Mother.
Mother?
That's another one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I tend to fall into that, like, move shit around my house or clean things or reorganize things while my TV's on, and I lose a little bit of focus, which we'll see.
I watched a movie last night that made me cry, like full, like tears coming.
What
down.
was it?
What was it?
The new Pixar movie, Onward.
Really?
Yeah,
Was it good?
The
I
one-
was gonna watch it.
yeah, it is really good.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Pixar
it is
movies
really-
are designed by AI to make you cry.
I know, and I got fully sucked in by that one.
So hey, you guys, Comedy Crash Landing says if you do explicate, I want to watch. So there you go.
Okay.
Oh, that's on my
Quality-
OnlyFans, buddy. You gotta go to a different
Yeah.
website for that.
Quality
Yeah.
content, right
You
there.
can watch there on our OnlyFans. You can watch Devin explicate, and you can watch me turn it out.
Yeah, I'll explicate it up, and then he'll explicate it right back down, baby.
Oh, jeez. You guys, I feel like we came back with proper pacing on an app for once. I really
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like we're about 6 minutes away from the hour mark, and we did about 30 minutes of
Holy
riffing. We
moly.
did about 25 minutes of Simpsons, and now we're kind of breaking it down. We'll get into jokes and favorites. I think that's I'm pretty impressed with us.
It's professional ass
There's
shit.
some professional stuff.
We're getting our timing down. We're about to have T-shirts.
Oh, baby. Oh, geez. I am actually, the t-shirts are going to be really nice, everybody. And we're all artists who are out of work right now also. So when we do have these shirts, you buying them will be very wonderful. Hey, Devin.
We know you have that unemployment money. Spend it on us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spend it on Homerphillia.
Give me $600.
Give me.
No,
that money.
give it.
Do you guys have a favorite joke?
I think I'm gonna go. I don't know that I'm gonna go with. Okay, probably I'm gonna have to say. I love the wordplay. I liked the couple of signs, but I like the corporal punishment. I like the little Saturday Night Live exit of Krusty. I like that bit, even though I think there were better actual jokes. I like corporal punishment. It made me laugh.
Yeah. Devin?
All right. I think the funniest written joke is them introducing the radio show.
Yeah.
Where they're like, and in order to keep our broadcasting license, we devote Sunday night dead time to shows of public service with limited appeal.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
But I think my favorite moment of the episode, the funniest moment, is Milhouse crying and begging to go home after dinner.
Yep.
I
He
know.
wants to meet Krusty so bad, and the dinner with Krusty is such a taxing emotional experience, and he's such a little tired baby that he is bawling. I want to go home.
That is-
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
I think that was mine too. Like Krusty overstaying his welcome and forcing Milhouse to break down. So Millhouse was on the screen for like 15 seconds in this episode, and he was absolutely the highlight. Between that and him doing the prayer at the table, like jumping on top of Krusty and just inviting himself over, Millhouse steals the show for me 100%.
For all the waffling I do on my favorite character, because sometimes it's Burns, sometimes it's Skinner's, but I always say Millhouse. I think Millhouse can steal an episode in less time than Burns or Skinner ever could.
Oh yeah,
Him crying. Like, we're 3 seasons in, barely, and the writers have already identified that making Millhouse a whiny little crying baby is the funniest thing in the world.
And still, this far in, he's really not that big of a factor. He's just a bit player at this point. He becomes much more a member of the fold eventually.
There's a reason I own 4 different shirts with Millhouse.
I have 2 different figurines of him as Fallout Boy, because that's one of my favorite episodes.
Oh, love that episode. I did paint him on a pumpkin for Halloween a few years ago.
Yeah, Millhouse is great. I did like, just to throw out another bit in there, I did like when Lisa was like up to her eyes in these like old textbooks to learn about Judaism to help them out, and Bart is over in the corner with a pop-up book about religion playing Noah. like he's like bringing the wave over the ark, and Bart's like, please Noah, help us. No.
It's funny because it does highlight a part of the Bible that is callous and violent and unfeeling and fucked up. What a mortifying thing. Yeah, and that really happened to me.
To all of us. I tried to at one point get 2 of every animal into one of my backyard holes, and all I really succeeded in was getting a bunch of beetles down there.
Yeah, beetles like that stuff.
Yeah,
it is weird to think that we all share the common ancestor of Noah.
Yeah,
we all come from Noah.
We all come from Noah and his wife.
And his smoking hot wife.
Yeah, dude. Fucking smoking hot wife. Are any of you changing your favorite episode to this one?
Honestly, I don't remember what mine was. Were we in agreement?
Mine was Homer Defined, the last one we watched.
That was not mine. I
was Lisa's substitute. I'm not changing.
Was mine still Stargrave? No, I changed it after that. I changed it preemptively. Or post.
You changed it like last week or something.
I changed it post.
You got trigger happy and changed it.
Jeez, I got trigger happy, right? No, I'm not changing it. I'm not changing my favorite episode from the one I don't remember to this one. Definitely not.
Yeah, so Homer Defined, the last one Darren said, and Lisa's substitute.
Yep. Awesome. Hey, Victor, go check out which one I liked last time. I'm just going to stick Victor on all of my questions. Oh, man.
I think it might be time for sponsors. Do we want to talk sponsors?
I got a sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by the upcoming Halloween special, the Monster Mash, where members of the 4077th Mobile Army Surgical Hospital care for the injured during the Korean War, but then the dead come back to life.
Ooh, it sounds good.
Yeah, join Captain Benjamin Hawkeye Pierce and Trapper John McIntyre and Major Margaret Houlihan and Frank Burns, along with Walter Radar O'Reilly, on their mission to re-kill the dead.
Love it. I'd like to thank our sponsor. It's a new local business, which I think is exciting for our podcast.
Yep.
Reed and Sons storage holes. We're sponsored today by Reed and Sons storage holes. Cram your shit in a big hole.
I would like to thank our sponsor, Rose Nye and Father's Hole Removal. We will come to your house and remove holes from your backyard, by which I mean we fill them up.
Oh, jeez.
Hole removal.
Hole removal. You guys got anything to plug at all?
Homerphillia every Sunday night.
Yeah, Homerphillia every Sunday night at 7. If you like improv, we're doing a Planet Ant Training Center improv chat every Saturday at 5.
Twitter.com/Devin Roseni, DevinRosni.
I stream myself and funny other people playing video games most nights.
Which is why you asked if we had anything to
Hell
plug.
yeah, dude. I'm shameful and shameless at the same time. Go Facebook.com/TheMostDarren. Actually, I'm the most Darren on all the social medias. But come watch us play video games. I'm trying to get more followers so I can get more access to more platform abilities and stuff like that. But I'm going to be streaming.
I heard if you get 10,000 followers, you do get sunglasses that wrap
Yeah,
around.
no,
Isn't
I get
that
these
true?
glasses, but when it's bright, they automatically turn to sunglasses.
Transition lenses.
Transition lenses. That's the thing. But I'm gonna be playing I'm gonna grab some food right after we cut this off, and then I'll be back on that.
What are you
video game
streaming
channel.
right now?
I just started Final Fantasy VII Remake yesterday. I played about the
folks want to see it.
played about the first hour of that, but I might actually be playing some Call of Duty with Nick Latimer and Ray Dupree and some other funny folks. We'll see.
All right.
But-
I want to jump on there soon. I don't
Dude,
know.
just come jump on. I was talking to. We're gonna play. We're setting up a cross stream with Brett Mercer. He's gonna teach me how to play Fortnite. One of these days.
Oh,
too.
sure.
So
Yeah.
that will be a train wreck of hilarity. Anybody who doesn't know, go follow Big Time Garbage. They're another podcast, but they're really good friends of the Homerphillia. They've been guests on our stuff. They're probably actually live right now. They generally
a sister
are.
cast in some ways. We've all been on their show. They've all been on our show.
Wow, it's
Right.
like a mash up.
Oh,
because all
like
the
the
mash,
song.
because all the
Because the monster, because the song,
yeah, because the
because
stuff,
like the song,
because the stuff
the
we were
song.
talking, we were talking about it before.
because a reference to a
'Cause
thing
it-
we had talked about
right.
before.
'Cause, yeah, we were
Right.
talking about that, and then we stopped talking about it, but then we did talk about it again.
We talked about it some more.
Yeah.
We did talk about it for a long time. We spent a good chunk of our show talking about it.
Yeah,
Now,
I like a good chunk of mash.
Monster mashed potatoes. Is that a thing?
Ooh,
And should I keep saying it?
I think
How
that
about
you
Monster
should.
Gash, which is
Ooh, okay.
the
Monster
Yeah.
Gash, Monster Flash.
Okay,
Monster
Flat
Crash Bandicoot remastered trilogy, ready to crash. Mash Team Racing.
Oh, jeez. Mash Browns? All right, you guys, we gotta end this stream. We are. Hey, if you want more quality content like this, we'll be back next week, next Sunday, 7:00. We'll be streaming here, but hang out on the Planet Ant channel all week. There's stuff every night of the week. There's all kinds of fun stuff. If you do want to support, we are a nonprofit theater. You can go to planetant.com to find out more. If you feel like dropping a couple dollars, just Venmo at Planet Ant or PayPal planetant@planetant.com, or just go to Planet Ant on all of the socials and learn more. We all care a lot about this place, and as soon as we can, we'll be open again and providing you guys quality entertainment every night of the week. But until then, any last words, everybody?
Fear.
Bye. Fear. All right, we love you. Stay safe. Bye.